So in today's session, what we are going to be covering is walking you through every section of the platform and what can and can't be done within this system. So it will be lengthy. It probably will take me about 45 minutes to get through every single section that's in here. But this way we'll give you guys a breakdown on everything that's in the platform so you can have a much better understanding. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. So I know that we've covered a couple of these things already, but I need to go back over them just so that everybody has an understanding of it. The video that we did yesterday for where we went live and walked through the initial account setup, I'm not even going to add that into our live trainings that you can go back and review because we're going to do the initial account setup for you guys. So everybody schedule an onboarding so that we can help you get your account set up, and there's going to be no cost for that. And I'm going to repeat this, but it's because we're live now. Anyone that has paid for that onboarding, we are going to credit that back to your account for next month, because we're giving the onboard out to everyone for free just so that we can get everybody up and running. So to start, when you log into Leads to ROI, the first thing that you're going to see is your dashboard. This is going to tell you how many opportunities we have. Every single lead that comes into the database through our platform automatically logs as an opportunity. So you'll be able to see those opportunities. We're going to have pipeline values. So what this is going to do is as that lead submits what their price point is on a home, we're going to assign a value for 3% commission, one side of that transaction as to what the value of that lead can be. So that way you guys can have an idea of what that full value is in your pipeline. And then of course, conversion rates. This is based off of one transactions. So once you sign that client, you go and you sell them a home, the contract has gone through contingency stages and everything else, and it's done. You've delivered the keys. Those are then closed. So we will show you guys how to assign the one to those leads so that it will automatically populate your guys' conversion rate in here so that you know exactly where you are with your pipeline, how much money you have to go and focus on and shake out of that pipeline so that you can work those contacts. Now you're also going to have a drop down right here that's going to cover funnels. This is essentially what stage of the pipeline those leads are in. So I'll get into that once we get down to opportunities so that you can learn more about that. Stages distribution. So this is a breakdown of what stage all of your leads are in. As you guys can see on both of these, you have a pipeline for every type of lead that comes through. So we have several pipelines for buyers, a handful for sellers. So that way, if you are running a home valuation ad, which is one of the first ads that we deliver to you guys, you are going to be able to see how many folks you have in your home valuation pipeline. And then you're also going to be able to take a look and see what stages those are in. And so this is just going to be a pie graph that's going to show that to you. Manual actions. This is a really awesome feature that's built into the system. And so with these manual actions, what you can do is actually set up an auto dialer with this so that if you decide that you want to set up a block time for your calls, there's two different ways to do this. Number one, you can have the system call you and you just press one and it will call that lead automatically. Some agents really like that, especially those that are on the go, on the run, that don't have the ability to block out their time because they're already too busy. And then we have other agents that do block out their time and say, okay, every day between 9 and 11 a.m., that's when I'm going to make my phone calls. For agents that like to block out their time, manual calls would be perfect for you because it delivers the most efficient way for you to be able to make those calls and reach out to those leads. So we'll be showing you guys how to set up manual actions or how to set it up so that you would just take that call initially right out of the gate. The next section that you're going to have in here is tasks. So you'll be able to see tasks per user. And so any task that's been assigned to you is going to be listed here. And there's a checkbox so you can simply check those tasks off as you get them done and completed. Now below we have a lead source report. So this is going to show you where you're getting your leads from, how many they are, and you'll be able to see percentages down here for open, won, lost, and win. Now I do see that there's some tests or some messages that are coming through. Yes, everything is Pacific Standard Time. My team is West Coast. So anytime you book an appointment with us, it is going to be for our standard time. But when you pull up that calendar, it should pull from your IP address so that you'll book in your time zone, but it will let us know in our time zone. It should be set that way. So now that we've gotten through here, you do have a review metric at the bottom. It has been moved. It used to be here, but if you just click this link, it'll take you to where your review metrics are. And of course, that's for doing the client check-in so that you can send a review request to any of your contacts for your Google My Business. The conversations tab. So I'm going to show you what this looks like from another account that is in use that has a lot of messages coming through it. Now I will have to do a little bit of editing on this video, so it will probably be live on Monday or Tuesday. I'll get this over to my team so that they can block this stuff out. But in your conversation section, all of your lead conversations that you have, whether that is a text message, an email, a Facebook message, a phone call, all of those messages are going to populate in one section here. So this is going to take a little while longer to load because I am sharing my screen. So it always takes a little extra time. So we'll give that a moment. And I'm just going to hit refresh. I'm going to stop my share really fast and then get back to it once this actually loads.
I've noticed with Zoom, it really has been slowing down stuff a lot.
It definitely does. So there's an overlay on Zoom that slows everything down. It looks like we've got Nadia joining in as well, so I'll let her into the room. So conversations is going to be where all of your conversations that you have with your contact are going to be set in the system. So if you have text messages, emails, also Facebook messages, Google My Business set up, all of your messaging is going to come through in one place. And you're going to have a very simple way to go ahead and jump in and respond to those leads. So no matter what source they came from, whether it's text, email, phone call, Facebook, or Google My Business, you're going to be able to respond to those leads all in here in one place. So that makes it super simple for correspondences going forward. Once you connect your Facebook account, as you can see, there's a Facebook message here. Once you connect your Facebook account, Google My Business, all of those things, which we'll do for you in the onboard now. Once those are completed, all of your correspondences can show up in one spot so that you don't have to jump from one platform to the next, so that you can have those conversations and chat with individuals. So what I'm going to go ahead and do again is I'm going to edit this section out of the video, just so this section is blurred and this section is blurred so you guys can have a better understanding. But this is one of my clients. I have permission to show this, but I just don't want their contact info to be out there for everyone to see. Now the opportunities tab, this is going to be all of the pipeline stages and where leads are. And I'm going to jump back into the leads to ROI real estate really fast. Here we go. So now that we are in leads to ROI real estate, opportunities is going to be the pipeline lead in, responded, list sent, schedule appointment, under contract, closing schedule, and closed at the end. So you're going to have a different pipeline for every single type of ad that we are going to run. So in this first month ads that we sent out down payment assistance ads for buyers. And we also sent out seller home valuation for the seller side. So these are the two pipelines that we're going to worry about for this month, because that's where those leads are going to be driven, is those two landing pages. And so once the lead comes in, they're automatically going to be responded with text and email. Once that lead responds and sends a message back, the system is just going to move this into the responded bucket. You're going to get a notification that they have responded so that you can then pick up where they left off and get that conversation going. The next thing that we are going to get into is workflows. So workflows is a really, really awesome piece to the puzzle with this platform. What we're using this for right now is for your Facebook conversions. So anytime we have a buyer lead that comes in on this particular one from any of those sources, this is going to connect to Facebook's conversion API. And when we do the onboarding with you, we're going to go ahead and set this up. We'll add in your access token, and we will also add in your Pixel ID. So what this is going to do, I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but Facebook has made quite a few changes recently. And in those changes that Facebook has made with iPhones specifically, the iOS 14 update is now making it so that when somebody clicks onto a website and goes off of Facebook or goes into a website inside of Facebook's actual app, you have to click that you accept and allow that person to pixelate you and track you. So there's been a huge downturn with conversions with Facebook advertising because iOS is concerned about, Apple is concerned about people's privacy. So they've implemented this new aspect to their marketing. The Facebook conversion API takes care of that problem. So once they go through and they fill out their information and they submit the form, that info will trigger back to Facebook, letting Facebook know that this person completed and filled out the form, which helps their algorithm so that when you're running ads, they put you in front of the right people. So there was before the conversion APIs were able to be set up, we started to see traffic and a downturn on conversion ads, traffic ads, all types of advertising, because there's a ton of people out there that use iPhones. And so since we've added this conversion API back in, we're right back to where we were previously, and conversions are up. Ad performance is right back where it's supposed to be. Everything is rocking and rolling as it should. So this is extremely exciting. You guys have the ability to have that conversion API set up. We're going to take care of it for you in the onboarding so that we'll get everything rocking and rolling for you. Absolutely, Nadia. Definitely great news. I'm glad that Facebook has created a fix so that we can continue to pixelate and target individuals with iPhones, whether they click the button or not. It's awesome. And so inside of workflows, there's a lot of additional things that you guys can do. So if down the road you decide to create your own campaigns or you want to do specifics, you can actually create your trigger and your campaign all from one section inside of workflows. So as you can see, we can send emails, we can send text messages, we can send a call. So I'm gonna explain a couple of differences in functionalities here. So what call means in the system is once the lead hits this particular step, Leads to ROI is going to call you. You will have a little recording that says incoming call from, and it'll say the contact's first name and the contact's last name. Press 1 to connect. You press 1 on your phone and it's automatically going to call that lead for you. Now, this is best for that agent that's super busy, always on the go, doesn't have the ability to block out their time. So if you want this set up, let us know in the onboarding and we can set it up so the system will call you and then call your leads. The second one is manual call. So manual calls is where it's going to stack up all of your calls into a list, and either from your mobile app or from the desktop, you're going to be able to click play and it's going to call one lead at a time. When you get done with either leaving a voicemail or having a conversation, you're going to have about 30 seconds to log some notes, and then it's going to move on to the next call, and it's automatically going to call the next person down the list for you. So that way you can really set up a good block time, get all of your dials that need to be done knocked out within that time in the most efficient manner possible. You can also send voicemails. So I know that some people have added the Core Voice drop add-on with KV Core. it's built into the platform. You can do this automatically. You don't have to pay any more for it. But essentially what you do is you just record a voicemail message that you'd like to be sent out to those leads, and you can have that be part of your follow-up campaign, so that as you're going through it, you'll have as the leads going through the campaign, they'll receive texts, they'll receive emails, phone calls from you, and then also voicemails.
Brian, just so everybody knows, the KB Core voicemail slide drop, if you will, it's like a $40 a month option. So again, this is some of that value we put into this software, into this CRM for you guys. You don't have to buy that additional thing to make it work. And Janice, we are in the middle of creating a Facebook group. Once we have that launched, we're going to send everybody that's a member of Leads to ROI the link that you can join. But for now, all of the recordings are going to be warehoused. Brian will show you where in just a little bit inside of your platform.
Yep, and we're going to get to that as we're going through the walkthrough here. And so outside of voicemails, you can also send Facebook messages back to individuals. And so you can send correspondences. If somebody has messaged your Facebook page, you can reply to them for up to 7 days. Facebook has a 7-day cutoff because they don't want businesses to spam individuals. And that makes sense. If somebody shows that they have interest, you have a 7-day window in Facebook to message them back and have that conversation. So you could set up a trigger in the platform that if somebody, you could set up a trigger from Facebook, and you could do a drop down. So this is actually from a lead submitted. So we'd have to do it from the CRM, and we do it from a new message. You could set up customer replies. You could set up that filter that it comes from Facebook. And from doing that filter, we could have a Facebook message respond automatically to them, so that we can stay in contact with those folks. The next thing we'll get into is a manual SMS. So this works very similarly to manual calls. You will just have a list of individuals that you can send a manual text out to. We don't really work with this inside of the system. We just wanted to make sure that you had an option to do that. If you wanted to send a manual one-off message to somebody, maybe an individual bomb style video, where you would record a video inside of Leads to ROI on the mobile app, and then you can send that out to your respective leads. So it would be great if you have enough time in the day, you could say, hey, I really appreciate you reaching out to me for your evaluation on 123 Main Street. Thank you so much for taking the time to fill that out. I do have a handful of questions that I want to ask before I provide you with the valuation, so I can make sure that I'm giving you an accurate depiction of what your home could sell for in today's market. Please feel free to book a time on my calendar by clicking the link below, and we'll chat soon. So you can send that. You can send manual video messages to each individual client if you choose to do that. The system already has a good flow of texts and emails that are built into it. These are just things that you can do additionally. You can also send out Google My Business messaging. So if somebody sends you a message directly through Google My Business, you can respond to them through the platform, and you can automate some of those responses. You can also do any of the normal functionality that you can do in the CRM. So you can add contact tags, remove contact tags, add or update opportunity, all of that good stuff. Everybody feel free to dive through this and take a look at all of the options of what you can and can't do in here. You can also, these are like my favorite parts. So you can add leads to Google Analytics. You can add leads to custom audiences on Facebook. What these do is really helps with retargeting and re-engagement of contacts. And here on month 3, we are going to be giving you guys a new ad playbook. Of course, every month you're getting 5 ads that you can upload into Facebook and run. On month 3, we're going to be walking everybody through how to set up retargeting in their Facebook so that you can retarget all of the leads that you guys have gotten from month 1 and 2. You should have a good enough number of leads by then so that you can set up an effective retargeting campaign. You can also add these ads or add these leads into Google AdWords. And Kelly and I are going to be doing a training on Google in the upcoming months. We got to make sure everybody's up to snuff with Facebook before we move on to another platform. But Google, YouTube are definitely coming very, very soon. After Google and YouTube, then we're going to put a focus on LinkedIn. But again, this is going to be several months down the road because we got to make sure that everybody's comfortable and ready to move forward to the next program. So you can also add into these conditional bases. So if somebody responds that they're not interested or unsubscribe, or if they respond yes, you can have that be a conditional response so that it will basically just, if they say yes, it will take them down this path. If they say no, it will take them down this path, or cancel or stop action. So the next thing that we are going to dive into is going to be your marketing tab. And so marketing has a whole nother set of things built into it. So campaigns is going to be where you will keep your primary focus. So inside of campaigns here, you're going to see that out of the gate, we have an ABC lead campaign. And we're going to be teaching you guys in a live next week how to set that up based off of how your customer responds in a lead form. And this is optional. But I highly recommend setting this up, especially for buyer leads and also for seller. We'll redo the campaign for seller so that you guys have both A, B, and C in here. There is a database reactivation campaign, home buyer campaigns, and then our power campaigns that go with each individual funnel. So I just want you guys to be able to see all of the different campaigns that are live and available in your platform right now. And each campaign is going to have its own set of follow-up. So if you click into the campaign, these two little exclamation points means that this goes out immediately. So as you can see, immediately, this goes out right as soon as the lead comes in. So there's an email that gets sent out. If you want to view the email, you can click edit and you can go ahead and scroll down and see how that's set up. So anywhere that you see these brackets, this is going to be basically, so if the customer's name is John, their first name is going to appear here. It's going to send out to John specifically. User first name is going to be your first name. This is going to be your last name. And then down below, we do have custom values for your phone number, your MLS, and also your company name. So those things will be added in to the follow-up.
For those of you that are watching this, you remember when you set up your KV Core and they gave you out of the box generic type email and text campaigns? What we did is we learned from that. And instead of you, the agent, having to go in and recreate the content, because it's very generic, it's not really a converter, it's not a conversation starter. So I went in and redid all of mine. We didn't want you to do that. So Brian and his team do this type of marketing daily for thousands of agents. And they've come up with content that's actually producing. It is conversion content. And they've taken the time to upload into every one of your dashboards the emails and text that you're going to be using, done for you, completely set up so that it's personal to the client. And its primary focus is to allow you not to have to waste time creating the content, but using what they've given you and then responding as the leads respond to you off of your text and your email drip campaign. So that's already done for you guys in your dashboard.
Awesome. Absolutely. So our goal is to make sure that these are as customized as humanly possible and have your information live on them. So every campaign is going to have its own number of texts and emails that are set up with this. And then we are going to, in additional live trainings, we're going to teach you guys how to add additional things into these campaigns. The amount of things that you can do with this is absolutely just amazing. So if we click to add an event, you can see that we can send an SMS, we can send an email, we can do a voicemail drop, we can do a manual text, we can set up a webhook so that there's some really cool things that you can do with this. Like you can automatically send a postcard to somebody in that campaign. That's something that Kelly and I are going to be covering in this next month. And we've got a really awesome platform to show you guys for sending out postcards. You can also add a task, create manual calls. You can have it wait a specific amount of time. You can create a call or send a message through Messenger, and of course, GMB. Google My Business. So it gives you a ton of stuff. Yes, Nadia. So that setup, we will go ahead and pull that from your next month's charge. So you'll get credit back on that. And then there is one thing that I need to edit really fast on my end. So pause with me for just a second. Something got brought to my attention. Matt, it looks like you just got a charge for creating that onboard. I'm going to go ahead and remove that and refund that to you right now so that there aren't any charges that come out on that any longer. My business partner actually set it up so that there was a charge that would come through via Stripe anytime somebody booked that, so we could charge for the onboardings. And so I'm removing that out of the calendar now so that nobody gets charged. So
Sounds good, man. Thanks.
that should be done. You'll have that refund here very, very soon. I'm going to do that as soon as we jump off this call.
Thank you.
I'm just going to jump back into here really fast and make sure that that isn't on the calendar any longer because I don't want anybody to get charged for these. Okay, cool. And one thing that we are huge on is full transparency. We want to make sure that we're completely transparent with everybody about everything that we do. So that's why I'm letting you guys know. And Matt will get you taken care of. Awesome. So in campaigns, there's just so many things that you guys will be able to do. And as we go on, the more trainings that we do, we'll dive into each one of these things one at a time so that you can learn more about it and go at a pace that you'll be able to actually take in and retain that knowledge. I don't want to just throw everything at you guys at once. So we will do more trainings where we go through each individual section and really do a deep dive into it after we get through the whole thing. So that way you guys can have better understandings. The email section under marketing. This is a very, very awesome tool. If you have ever used a Mailgun, or not Mailgun, excuse me, if you've ever used like MailChimp or any other constant contact, a mail system, and you've set up HTML emails, you can actually import your HTML emails directly into the platform through the import tool, and this is what those look like. So you'll be able to send out very vibrant emails that have buttons that you can click on them, images, and in some cases you can also add in videos directly to the email. And we will be doing a training on the video section here in the upcoming weeks, just so that you guys have a better understanding of how that all works. But you do have a handful of basic templates that you can go off of out of the gate, or you can create your own. This email builder is very straightforward. It is drag and drop. So if we want to add text into the message, we want to add that contact's name into the text, you do everything on the left side. So we could say hello, go under custom values, contact, add first name, comma, and we'll just hit back really quick, and then add your text. So this is going to say if the lead's name is John, it will say hello, John. If the lead's first name is Jason, it will say hello, Jason, so on and so forth. But this is just to show that every aspect of this is drag and drop and pretty simplistic to use. If you want to add in images, drag and drop, then you can upload your image directly into this.
Video, guys, you can put video directly in it.
Yep. Custom code, so you can embed videos directly into into this. I actually, for the most part, I wouldn't just do the embedded code directly into the email, and we will get into that in another training so that we can show you how to add videos to your emails. But very, very exciting, cool stuff. You can add footers, all those kinds of things.
And guys, let me tell you, from a conversion standpoint, the reason why we built it like this, I want you just to imagine as a real estate agent that you want to reach out to a for sale by owner. Hey, Mr. For Sale by Owner, this is Janice, this is Nadia, this is Matthew, this is Rye, whatever. Just wanted to congratulate you that you're selling for sale by owner. Here's my offer, right? Videos convert at such a higher rate. So we built that in there for you guys.
Absolutely. We also have bulk requests. So anytime you do a bulk email, you do a bulk text message request, anything along those lines, you'll be able to go back and see that information all here. And it's going to show things like the next execution status, the date that it was scheduled, when it went out, all those good things. Trigger links, this again is going to be a whole nother thing that we're going to get into. But trigger links, essentially, when you send out a correspondence, let's say you send out an appointment link to somebody, you can actually add a trigger link for that appointment link into the system. And when they click to schedule an appointment, once they click on the link in the email or text, you'll be able to see that they clicked on that, and you can actually have new actions be performed based off of that. So we'll dive into that and give you guys a little bit more info and really teach you more about that as we go on. Form builder. This is where all of our forms are housed for our landing pages. So you can always go in and create your own new forms. But as you can see, this is like for a USDA home loan form, first name, last name, email, phone number, how many beds and baths they're looking for in their next home, what their desired price range is, and what their purchase time frame is. You can do any kind of customization on this that you would like. So for example, if you wanted to add a question like, are you currently working with a realtor? You could go in and say, I wanted to do a radio button. Are you currently working with a realtor? Question mark. And actually, I would ask this differently. I would say this: do you have a signed agreement with a realtor? The reason I ask the question this way is because everybody knows an agent.
Yeah.
Everybody has a cousin, a sibling, a family friend, or just somebody that's close to them that is an agent. We have more agents now than we have homes for sale. So if you ask this way, if they have a signed agreement, you're going to get a more straightforward answer, because anybody that you ask, they know a real estate agent. So if you say, are you working with a realtor? More than likely, they're going to say yes. So what we do is just add an option, yes or no, down below, click save. And then what this is going to do, we can drag and drop that over and add it to the form. You can see they just have a yes or no that they can add into that question.
And guys, why this is important, on our KV core, we're limited to, in most cases, either an address, a name, or a phone number. That's it. These forms that you're going to start to play with over the next couple of months are going to be very interesting for you as you do your marketing, because you can get very detailed. And if somebody's going to fill out this whole form, that's a hot lead. Now you've got information is king, right, Brian?
Absolutely. And here's the thing, you guys don't have to change these at all. The way that they're set up right now convert extremely well. And we've been running tests asking these exact questions for a couple of years now. It's been 3 years, 2 years since Kelly's been on board with us. We've been asking these. We were asking for a year prior. These questions are awesome to help you guys convert contacts and convert leads. You get a ton of additional information when they fill out the form. And if they aren't interested, or if it's somebody that's just filling out the form, more than likely, they're not going to fill out all this additional info if they're not serious. So it just gives you a little bit better opportunity to convert that lead and get a more quality contact. Now, under Survey Builder, you're going to see that we have one survey that is created. This is a 2-step survey. So the first slide is for their home valuation. We have some HTML script added into this. This is so that we can use Google's API, and we can pull their address in the form when they start to fill it out. So they'll start typing in their address, and Google is going to pre-populate all of the options that they can choose right there. And then of course we have the next series of questions down below. So definitely takes things to a whole new level, gets things rocking and rolling for you guys.
And this is why our leads convert at a higher level.
Absolutely. They don't have to type in their entire address. They start typing and then they just click on their address as it populates by Google. Next thing is you guys have text and email templates that are built into here that you can use with any of those manual texts or emails at any time. And then the HTML builder is for more advanced, way more advanced individuals. So we don't actually need to hop into that HTML builder at this time. Reporting. This is going to show any of your Google Ads reporting once you've connected your Google account and your Google My Business and linked up your AdWords accounts. So you will have all of your Google Ads reporting integrated into this. And again, we're going to cover Google and YouTube down the road and get you guys started on running ads there. And you're also going to have your Facebook ad reporting all built into one space. So you'll be able to see each ad that you're running, what the performance looks like, what the cost per click, what the cost per lead. All of that data gets transmitted into the platform automatically. So you will have access and the ability to utilize that.
Brian, how's this look on an iPad? Have y'all tried it out on an iPad? Question came up.
I have. It looks great. It looks just like this on the iPad.
There you go. That answers your
Really
question.
Cool. Attribution reporting. This is something we'll do a whole nother series on, but this is all about your conversions. So one of the things that we're going to put a big focus on, and we're going to do probably a 3-month series on this, where one of our trainings weekly is going to be geared towards helping you guys convert leads at a higher rate. I've been in sales for 15 years, and every company that I've worked at, I've been the or one of the top sales reps in that company. I've got enough rewards from Zillow alone to plaster the wall behind me and show off. I'm not that kind of person. But there's a couple of things that I really focused on that helped me achieve being that number one guy and the top salesperson. And it focuses on the analytical data. So I focused on key performance indicators and metrics. And what that means, to put it in layman terms, the number of dials you put in, how many appointments you have created out of that number of dials, how many of those appointments turn into a contract, and how many contracts does it take for you to close that deal. So once you have been using this platform for about 3 months, we'll be able to take a look at your data, how many calls it takes for you to get an appointment, how many appointments it takes for you to get a signed agreement, how many signed agreements to close. Then we can reverse engineer that. So let's say you go, hey, I want to make an extra $100,000 in gross commissionable income this year. We'll be able to go based off the average home value in your market, do the math backwards, find out how many calls it's going to take to get those appointments, all of that stuff, so that you can set a goal for yourself for the number of dials that you want to make to those leads daily, so that you can achieve the goal that you need to hit. And this works really well like clockwork. I did this in every single role that I was in with every company, whether that was financial services, selling cars when I was in my teens, or when I was selling for Zillow, and working with agents all across the nation. This works with any industry. It's just sales tactics so that you can really calculate what your income is going to be based on the work that you're putting in. So we will do some super deep dives into attribution reporting so that we can help you guys close more deals. But
guys, where Brian's specialty is going to be on the conversion aspect, specifically because of his background with calling. He's going to make you guys so comfortable with your calls, because it comes down to your, being comfortable. My expertise and what I'm going to bring to you guys, if this is the direction we're going to go, is we're going to add an extra layer of icing on top of his already perfect cake. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys to a point where you can combine his expertise on using the system, getting real familiar with the phone, and then adding that layer of direct mail expertise, that ninja of being able to get leads to convert by your direct mail. So it's literally like the perfect storm of marketing when we join forces. And you guys are going to partake of that, and it's going to be an amazing experience for you moving forward.
Absolutely. And so to piggyback on that attribution report, a couple of things that tie into that. This is all of your call stats. So every call that you make through the system will be logged. So you're going to be able to see record of that. You're going to be able to see how long that call was. So there's a duration down here. And so this is really going to help us refine you with your pitches, right? When you're getting these leads on the phone. So if we find that your average call time is a minute and you're getting them on the phone and we're not able to overcome that first objection, it's going to help us coach you so that you'll have a better understanding of how to overcome those objections and be able to have that 3 to 7 minute call that you really need to have so that you can book that appointment. And so we'll be able to take a look at a couple of these key metrics that are on here, help you refine your pitch. If we need to, go back in and listen to those calls so that we can then coach you in the right direction so that you can get better at making those dials. So all of your call reporting is all going to be found under call reporting. And then agent reporting, this is going to be the whole kit and caboodle. So every text message that you send out, every email that you send out, all the conversations that you have, opportunities, all of your call metrics, everything in one place. This is awesome. For calls specifically, though, I personally prefer the call stats, but we wanted to make sure that we had a place where, especially as you're growing your downline and you're adding team members into Leads to ROI, we can make sure that we're monitoring the efforts that those team members are making as well, so that you know who to spend marketing dollars on and who not to spend marketing dollars on, so that way you have the most effective team possible and your profitability is there. There's then an appointment report based on book, confirmed, showed, no showed, canceled. And so you will have a reporting section for all of your appointments that are booked as well. The next section is going to be under calendar. So you're going to be able to see this just like your Google Calendar. You can go ahead and just see all of your calendar or all of your appointments here. Now, appointments is another section to see those appointments. The difference is the calendar is just a calendar view so that you can stack and see your appointments as they're coming in. The appointments view, you can go and actually schedule an appointment with a contact directly from here. And then I'll show you how to do that in a contact record as well in just a moment. So I think everybody should have a decent grasp of what the calendar and appointments are. So I'll go ahead and move on. Reputation, this is all about the review requests that you can send out with the platform. So if you have a database of leads, let's go ahead and get those imported into here. We can start a campaign where we can do a reactivation campaign so that we can get some responses coming back from those folks. And then anyone that you've worked with in the past that you've had a positive experience with, I would absolutely send review requests out to those individuals, because as you're sending those review requests out, you're going to get more and more reviews on your Google My Business. And you can also set this with Facebook so that they can send the reviews to either platform, whether you choose Google or Facebook, completely up to you. But that way you can grow your reviews and increase your reputation. What this does is the more reviews that you have on your Google My Business, when somebody searches in their local market for realtor near me or real estate agent near me or buy a house or sell a house near me, you will populate higher on that list of people to click on and reach out to because you have more reviews. So this is extremely important part of marketing. And this doesn't cost you a dime to build your Google My Business, and you get free leads from it. Kelly, how many reviews would you say you have on your GMB right now?
I've got 30. I've got 30 guys, and I am now getting phone calls from Google to me, where a year ago I didn't. So I took really good care, and I didn't have this one-click integration. I had to go and find myself on Google, go and find that link, that review. So it was just a process. Here we made it simple. So if you guys will work diligently here, you'll get yourself to a point where you're going to start getting phone calls tracked in this system from people that find you on Google when they search for realtors in your town. It's an amazing process, and this is how it's going to affect you and make a difference to get to the closings you guys want by integrating stuff like this. I love it, Brian. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kelly. Well, and, again, our goal is to make sure that we can help you guys generate more leads and be profitable. So if we can get you free leads from Google My Business just by getting you to send review requests out there, we want to do it. Now, the next section is going to be contacts and contact smart list. So with your contact section, you can see a handful of pertinent information right out of the gate. This is going to be under the All tab. So all of your leads are going to be here. You won't have any additional tabs on here until you create them. So I want to show you guys really fast. You can add additional columns on here. So let's say, for example, you wanted their full address to be on here so that you could see their address as they entered it. And let's say, for example, you also wanted to see home purchase anniversaries for reactivating your database. What you can do is go in and create a filter on this. And so let's just say that you wanted to go in and see all leads that were assigned specifically to you. So I'm going to use Kelly Wheeler for an example. We don't have any leads that are assigned to him in this because this is the test platform. But if
Come
we
on now,
did,
share the love.
I know, right? But if we did, every lead that would be assigned to Kelly would be
Innocent
recorded.
leads.
And all you have to do is click this plus, and we would say Kelly Wheeler. And I would actually just name this assigned to Kelly Wheeler. Hit save. And as you can see, we now have the assigned to Kelly Wheeler tab at the top. So if I jump back into this lead and I assign it to Kelly from contacts, you're going to have the ability to add assignment here. So I'm going to add Kelly as the assigned user, and we jump back out and we go to assign to Kelly. That lead is going to populate once this loads. Oh no, I must not have hit save. 1 second. So this is assigned to Kelly. Everything is saved. It must have just taken a moment to communicate. So we pop in.
And guys, this is how a lot of the EXP power guys that are building a big rev share, they've got platforms like this. They do lead generation. They get leads coming in, and then they assign these leads to anybody that joins underneath them in EXP. They feed them leads, and they get a 25% referral. Holy smokes, guys. This is how you build a business.
So it'll take a couple of minutes for the system to communicate, but this lead being assigned to Kelly Wheeler with that saved, it should populate here in the next 30 seconds to a minute. But I'll just go ahead and move on to the next section. So under your contact record itself, when you click into a contact, you're going to have all of their basic contact information in this first tab. So you're going to be able to see their first name, their last name, their email, their phone number, their date of birth. By the way, if you do acquire that information from your lead, the system's automatically going to send them a happy birthday message. We've built that in, so they'll get a happy birthday message. And then you can also add in what their date of purchase was, and it will send out an anniversary message every year for you
On autopilot, guys.
so that you can say, hey, congratulations, you've been in your home for 1 year now. If you have, I'm so happy and looking forward to hearing about many more happy years in your home. If you have any questions related to real estate or need anything done on your home, please feel free to reach out. I've got a ton of people that I can connect you with. So that way we get that messaging out. But you're going to see wherever their source was that lead came from. You're going to be able to see any tags that have been added to that contact, and you can also add new tags. You would simply just start typing. So as you can see, we've got a responded, we've got the lead in. I'll show you guys how to add more tags to the platform so you can customize it to yourself in just a moment. Now, under contact type, we are keeping it very simple. It's either a lead or it's a customer. So you'll signify whether it's a seller or a buyer based off of the contact source. So you'll be able to do the breakdowns that way. The next thing would be offers. You guys really don't have to worry about this particular aspect. It's here, it's built into the system. But what we're going to be using this for down the road is unique selling propositions that Kelly has been testing that are working really, really well. So like, for example, he has one where he puts out and he says, hey, would you like to learn how you could potentially sell your home for 1% commission? And he does this with for sale by owners. And what he does though, is he says, if you bring your own buyer to the table to purchase the home, I'll do the deal for 1%. Otherwise it's 6%. And really nobody has ever brought Kelly a buyer. So
but it's gotten me in a lot of doors.
It's gotten them into a lot of doors, and
I would honor that if they found a buyer.
Absolutely. So past campaigns, workflows, you're going to be able to see whatever the past workflows that they're in. You're going to be able to see the active campaigns or workflows that they're in, and then opportunities below for pipeline stages. Now, We do have a general info that opens up with some more info about that particular client. So if they're a business owner or whatever their work is, you can add all that contact info in here. And then additional info is going to show all of the other fields that we have added into the platform. So desired price range, current interest. And once we get down to settings, I'm going to show you guys how to add more of these in so that you can put as many custom fields as you want in the platform, so that you can look everybody up. What I do personally, little pro tip, hide the empty fields if you're just trying to look up and find a particular field that they've already filled out. So these are all the fields that get asked in the home valuation form. So if you click hide empty fields, you're going to be able to see all of the fields that they have filled out already. Now, on the right side of the screen, we're going to have, well, in the center, we're going to have our conversation section. So you can do SMS, you can do email. One thing I do want to note is in SMS, you can add an attachment. And so if you had a video that was saved that you wanted to send out to somebody, you can send a video text message directly through the platform. What it's going to do is it's going to take the very first image of that video. So make sure you're smiling when you do the video. It's going to take that very first image and it's going to send as a multimedia message with the image and then a link below for them to click and view the video. So you guys can ditch BombBomb if you want to. And that'll save you what, 30 or 40 bucks a month for whatever that BombBomb cost is, Kelly.
Well, so far in this conversation, between the voiceless voicemail and the BombBomb, if you're using those, we just showed you how to save almost 70 bucks a month.
Definitely. And then on emails, of course, you can add any kind of an attachment on here as well. Add links. You can use a template, and you can also request payments. This really isn't here for a realtor function, but we wanted to add it in just in case you had some co-marketing with a lender. So you can request a payment for that lender if you want to set up a Stripe account in here as well, and request some help or assistance with that. So under activity, this is going to show any activity that that client has performed on any of your funnels or landing pages. So as you can see, I've done a lot of test form submissions with this. Tasks is going to be any of your tasks that are due with your clients. So if you click on all, it's going to show all tasks. You can go back in and view completed. Notes is going to show all of the notes that are added to your contacts. And we have this set up so that when you have a buyer lead come in, it preloads a buyer call script for you in here. And when you have a seller lead that comes in, it preloads a seller call script. So all you'd have to do is when you're making your dials, click this link. It's going to open up in a new window. Click let's set an appointment. And it's going to open up a call script for you that's going to pull all of that pertinent information that was in the form that they filled out on the website. So you'll be able to ask questions. The number one objection that you guys will get from Facebook ads, I filled that form out by mistake, or I'm not interested right now. All right, so this gives you the ability to come back and you can say, like, I totally get it. I fill out forms on Facebook all the time and sometimes forget about them. But it looks like you entered that your address was 123 South Kent Street in Kennewick, Washington. Is that correct? Yes. Awesome. And it said that you'd also stated that you had 3 beds, 2 baths in that home, and that it was 1,600 square feet. Is that accurate? Okay. Okay. So the last thing I'm looking at on here is that you wanted to sell immediately and that you've done a bunch of updates, like a bathroom remodel, updated roof, recent expansion. All of those things have been upgraded. So do you remember filling out that form now? And then they'll say, oh yeah, I did fill out that form. And you can pick up the conversation from there. So this is all just designed so that you can go in and get that appointment booked. And when you click this down below, it's just going to drive directly to your calendar on the next page so that you can then book an appointment to go and view their home or do whatever you need to do. So call script is super cool. And we've got another call script coming soon for FSBOs, canceleds, and expireds. and we're going to show you guys how to integrate My Plus Leads into the platform so that you can automatically send texts and emails out to those folks and put them on a call campaign so that you can reach out and start working those FISBOs, canceleds, and expireds. So that should cover the contacts portion for the contact smart list. Manual actions. This is going to be where you will have manual calls and texts assigned. You can see there's a Let's Start button in the top right corner. If you click Let's Start, it's just going to pull that first contact into the contact record. So it'll open this window right here. And then you'll have a little pop-up and it's going to start calling. So once you're done with this call, it's going to jump you to the next contact record and then to the next contact record. So you'll be able to just like power through all of your dials there. Next on here is if you have any contact requests or you need to restore contacts that you deleted, you can jump in and restore deleted contacts. So if you accidentally make a mistake and you delete a contact, it'll be housed in basically like a trash file, like what you have on Windows, and you'll be able to just jump in and restore that contact so you add it back in. The next section is going to be funnels, websites, membership. You guys have access to funnels right now. I will be giving you all access to websites soon. I just want to make sure that you have an understanding of how funnels works and everything else before we jump into the websites, because websites would be something that you would need to create for yourself. We could create a super generic website that everyone can use, but I want to give you guys the ability to kind of customize those and make them your own. So I'd like for you guys to be able to learn how to at least do some of the basics before we move ahead on that. I do see we've got someone else in chat. For EXP websites, you can absolutely use EXP websites, and the call would be made through the number that's built into this platform. We'll set up a forwarding for you in onboard so that once when somebody calls that number, it's going to be forwarded directly to your cell. On your cell phone, you're just going to see their phone number calling you. So they aren't going to, when they give you a call, you're not going to get a call from the system's number. It just forwards the call directly to you, so you see the end user that's calling you's number. But we'll get that all taken care of when we do onboarding for you. And I believe there was just another question that came through. Let me check. Nope, we're good. All right. So under funnels, a couple of ones that out of the gate that you won't want to touch are going to be the buyer seller call scripts. Of course, unless you want to edit and customize those and make them your own. But to show you really fast, all of this stuff is really easy to edit or customize. Again, you're not going to have to edit or customize anything unless you choose to do so. These landing pages are proven to convert and they work very, very well. But if you want to go in and edit any of this text, you can just go ahead and click into the box. As you can see, you can type into the box. If you need to add any new elements, you can click the plus. It's very straightforward. You can add in elements like your calendar or Google Maps. You can add in all sorts of stuff into these landing pages. So you can just customize them and make them your own if you choose to do so. None of these require any edits. So if you want to make it your own or make it stand out or look a little bit different, feel free to do so. But with these, I'm going to show you on one of the actual funnels that we use for marketing. Let's go into the seller home valuation. With these funnels, if you want to make any changes, and again, we're going to be doing this with your guys' onboard, but as you can see, we've got a background image here, and this is for Denver. So not everybody's in Denver. So we're going to want to change that background image so that we can make sure it matches your local market. You can see we've got the image placed here. If you want to change that out though, you can always click into that and you can select whatever image you have loaded into the platform so that you can put that image there. And if you do need to upload new images, simply click upload, and then you can upload those images directly into the platform so that they can be used. And then the next thing that we're going to take a look at, I'm going to show you guys how to edit and customize elements really fast. So if you wanted to click on, so every single element that's on this landing page, you can click on, you can edit, you can adjust. So if I click here, this side this menu is going to be different for every single element that's on the page. So every element's going to have its own set of settings that you can create for that particular section. So we could increase the top margin, which is going to bring that image down. You can increase the bottom margin, which will push the next thing below it down or up. You can go into advanced settings and do all sorts of things on these. You can click plus on the orange boxes. You can add videos, images. You can really customize this, make them whatever you want them to be. But again, you don't have to customize anything. If you did want to add in, say, like 3 rows down here, you could add in 3 additional rows. We could then go and add a video. We could add an image, and then we could add a survey, for example, just to give you guys an example of how simple this thing is to set up and use.
But out of the box, guys, it converts. So probably for the first couple months, just use what we give you, the way we teach you, and you're going to see some success.
Absolutely. But I do want to make sure that I get the point across that if anybody's out there using ClickFunnels, this has all that same functionality that ClickFunnels has. There's only a couple elements that this doesn't have that ClickFunnels does. You'll be able to replace your ClickFunnels with this. Next thing that we're going to get into is triggers. This is the behind the scenes. This is how all of the magic happens in the platform. So one of the things that you're going to see on here is every single one of your landing pages, every funnel has its own set of triggers. So right now we focus on funnels, we focus on campaigns, and we focus on triggers. So, and then also opportunity pipelines. So if we open any of these, you're going to see that we have a trigger here that once the form is submitted for down payment assistance, it's going to put the lead into the opportunity pipeline for down payment assistance, and it's going to put it in the stage for lead in. Below, it's going to add a contact tag. It's then going to add in your seller or buyer script, whichever is respective to that contact. And then it's going to add them to the campaign so that the follow-up automatically happens. Now, all of this stuff is pre-set up. You don't have to change a thing or do anything. But if you do want to add something in, so say, for example, you want to get a text message every single time that lead comes in, you can actually go ahead and you can set this up to send an SMS, add your phone number here. You can then add in the custom fields for contact's full name. You could then add in their phone number. You could then add in their email. And you can simply put at the top, new lead, and all of their information will be sent to you via text. So really cool. I just want to make sure that you guys knew what this section was if you ever stumbled into it. So that way you have a better understanding of what it is. Online listings is something that we are going to focus on down the road. This is all towards Google My Business. The chat widget. So we didn't incorporate this into every single funnel and landing page because some agents like it, some agents don't. So we will be doing an additional training where we teach you guys how to add the chat widget in. I'll let you know right now, it's super simple, but you can have a chat widget on your website that's fully customizable. You can add your logo or your photo here, or just leave it the way that it is so it looks like you have an assistant. And you can do all of your messaging and everything from your landing pages through there. Now, BeKnown University, as we have more videos for this, I'm going to create a new series of courses for you guys in BeKnown University so that you will have login access and you'll be able to see all of the live trainings that we're doing and all of the updates. We're going to be doing a lot of trainings outside of live so that people can learn at a faster pace and go at their own pace. So you guys will have access to that very soon. For Facebook training, we have videos for setting up your Facebook business manager, setting up a Facebook page, setting up your business ad account, setting up your pixel conversion API, your Facebook ad imports and how to import your ads every single month. That's a really important one. And then we also have how to find your Facebook business page and ID in pixels. We're going to continue to add more videos to this as time goes on. But for this section here, setting up your Facebook, If you don't have your Facebook set up, in the onboarding, we are going to walk you through it and help you get that done. We were charging, but we want to make sure that everybody has the best experience possible. So we have removed that fee so that we won't be charging going forward for any of those things. Now, settings, this is where you're going to have your settings for your entire business in the platform. So your company image, if you want to upload a company logo, simply just go ahead and click change. And then you can go and open up your whatever file that you have or location where you need to add that logo in, and you can go ahead and plug in a logo and have your logo set for your account. Make sure your company name, all that stuff is set up, your company address, everything else. Team management, if you ever need to add employees or agents down the road that join your downline, this is where you'll do that. Teams, once you have created a team and you have more than one person, you'll also have a teams section here. You can add a team right out of the gate. Reputation, this is going to be all of your settings for Google My Business. So you'll be able to set up your text messages, your emails, everything that gets sent out here so that you can get those review requests. Appointment widgets, you can click and navigate. So this is moved to a new section under calendars. We just haven't removed it from here yet, but you can add in widgets on landing pages and things like that to book appointments. All of your pipeline stages are going to be visible here. Payments, integrations, so your Google integrations, your Facebook and Instagram integrations, the phone numbers that are assigned to your account, your calendars, any text and email templates. So there's 2 placeholders for this. And then I told you guys that I would dive back into this once we got to this section. So custom fields. So this is where, let's say you did want to create a custom field or add a particular question to a form. You can create any field that you want in here. So if you want that to just be a text box so that they fill out a text box and have to type it in, you can do that. If you have a long form question that you're asking, you can have them go ahead and write in a couple of paragraphs. Numerical, this is going to be a number. You also have a phone number or monetary. A checkbox is just that. You can have a list of things and they can go down and just check the boxes for you. A single option would provide a drop down with multiple options. They'd select one of those options and it would be populated on the form. Multiple options is how we have it set up for the upgrades that they've done to their home, where they can select multiple upgrades that have been done on that home. Radio buttons, we showed that earlier. Dates, this is really cool. So you can add in this, when they click on this, it just opens up a calendar and they can select a specific date. Text box list, file upload, you can upload any kind of file into this, which is really cool. And then also signature for somebody to sign. So if you needed to do electronic signatures, you can also do that with the form. We aren't pushing any electronic signatures at this point in time with the platform, but it's something that you can do. Facebook form fields and mapping. This is where you're going to map all of your Facebook lead ads if you're running lead ads on Facebook. Custom values. Now, there's a couple of differences here. So custom values pertain to your account as a whole. Custom fields pertain to your contact record. So this custom fields will be something that's variable based on that contact and the information that they or you enter. Custom values stay constant across all contact records. So as you can see, there's an agent headshot that's populated here. There's an agent logo that's populated here. This is how we automate setting up your guys' landing pages so that when you go through and fill out your onboarding form, add in your headshot, add in your logo, this is what pre-populates all of those things on your pages. So you can go ahead and take a look at these if there's any custom values that you need to add. Say you're working with a transaction coordinator and you want that transaction coordinator's info to be in an email. You could add in transaction coordinator, first name, last name, phone number, email. You could have those all be their own respective custom values. Domains. So what we're going to have you guys do for every single domain or this system, we're going to use our domains. So searchresidence.com and residencevalues.com. You will just enter your first name, last name, dot, search residence.com and residencevalues.com. We'll do that in the onboarding for you, but we'll add that in right here. We just have to type the info in and it goes in. If there is an additional domain that you really want to use, your own domain, we will have a video that walks you through how to do that, and we can help you with that at the time of onboard as well. But this is going to be the easiest way for you to get this platform up and running in the quickest amount of time. I also mentioned tags. If you want to update and add tags that you can use for contact records, we would simply just click create tag, and you'd go through and type out whatever that tag is that you want it to be. It will be added to the list, and then it can be used to create triggers and trigger additional actions, things along those lines. And then SMTP and mailgun services, we will cover this in your onboarding. This is essentially so that you can send emails from your own email address to your new leads and potential clients. So the last thing that I'm going to cover with you guys today in this walkthrough is going to be the help library. So we have a help library that is built in. We have a chat window here. You can jump in if you've got any questions and you need a quick answer and we're busy, you can't jump on an appointment with us for a day or two. Jump in and fill out this, submit your question. Our team typically gets back on this within about 5 minutes. So you'll have fast response, you'll get support right away, and you'll be able to have somebody help walk you through. Otherwise, you can jump into any of these general help articles that we have. These general help articles, depending on which one it is, a lot of them do have videos where we can walk you through how to use each individual section, and a little breakdown on how it all works. So any questions that you have, if it's something that you need to know the answer immediately, you're in the middle of something, check in the help section and see if there is an article. We've got an article on everything in here, so there should be an article on it if you have a question on it. If you can't find the answer that you're looking for or need a little bit more help, jump into the chat window and start a chat, and we'll get back to you immediately with live support. Excuse me, Amina, what I'm going to be doing, the video that we did yesterday for a recording was a how to set up your account. And we're actually going to be taking that into our own hands, and we're going to set up your account for you in an onboarding. So I'm not even going to post the video from yesterday, but the video from today, once I edit out some of that client of mine's contact info, I'm just going to blur that section of the screen. I'm going to add it in. There's going to be another tab below this Facebook training that is just going to say live recordings. And so they will be accessible right there. So I'll add in that tab right now, even though it's not going to point anywhere, but that way you can see it for the video. Give me 1 second. I'm going to edit this on my other screen.
And guys, we're also going to be doing some recordings that will be dropping there for you. So you're going to want to check your dashboard, quite regularly, but I'm going to be dropping some trainings on there for you on offers. What are your offers to buyers and sellers? We're going to do some quick mastermind type marketing training videos. They'll be housed there. I'm pretty sure that's where he's going to put them. And so you'll be looking into that for our newest videos on how to use the system. And then as an agent, what offers you can make and different marketing strategies you can utilize to gain appointments, to gain listings, to work with buyers, and ultimately get closings for cash flow.
Absolutely. And so I just added in the live trainings, recordings. I guess I should make that live training recordings. I'm doing this quick. So I just added that in. Right now I have the Facebook as a placeholder for this, where we do the walkthrough on Facebook, but I'll make a new landing page for this and add in the recording once I get those edits done. And again, that'll be early next week. I'll have the recording from today live in there. Now going forward, you guys, I'm going to be doing these live events, set schedule every single week. We're going to do Tuesday and Thursday. So 2 days per week, 2-hour long sessions. So 4 hours total per week live. 1 hour of each of those sessions is going to be a Q&A where y'all can ask whatever questions that you have. We can do a deep dive into your calls, do some coaching, all of that good stuff.
Do some role
And that's
plays.
going to be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday and Thursday for these live trainings. I've added that into a calendar, and what I'm going to be doing is adding everybody to that calendar that has signed up. So you guys will get automatic invite requests to that. And again, if you miss a meeting, other than yesterday, going forward, we're going to add all of those live trainings into this. And
Brian, look at Janice's comment. She says, what is the time frame for us to be up and running some ads?
Do me a favor and schedule that onboarding. As soon as we get your onboarding done, we'll walk you through setting up your ads for your first month right then and there, and we'll get you up and running. So schedule the onboards, we'll get you running ASAP. So if you schedule that onboard for Tuesday, we'll have your ads running Tuesday. The sooner you book it, the sooner you'll be running. So that should just about cover everything that I've got to show you guys today. Who's got questions?
Take yourself off mute, guys. If you have questions, we've got a little bit of time. We'd love to help you guys out.
So Brian, with the onboarding, this is Nadia. Sorry, you're seeing Amina on the screen.
Okay.
So with with the onboarding, we have to be present so that you guys can log in with our own individual usernames and passwords and stuff like that, right? Because I was having some issues yesterday doing the SMNTP gun something. I was having a lot of issues with that, so I just got stuck. And with the workflows, I was stuck from there as well. So
go ahead and schedule a new appointment with us and we'll jump on. So for the onboarding, we do need you to be present. We'll do some back end work inside of your Facebook for things that we need to get done in Facebook. So all these ads and everything work as they're supposed to. We'll help you do the import of your Facebook ads, and we'll get everything knocked out in leads to ROI so that your account is ready for use. So everybody, please book that onboarding so that we can get you rolling.
Brian, is it possible for you to record the individual onboardings and send that video just to that agent so they can go back and look at what you did so it's refreshed? Is that possible, or is that overkill?
We definitely can.
Okay, good.
oh yeah, that would be awesome.
I think that would be a great idea. So that way.
See, every once in a while I get them.
Kelly, you got a lot of good ideas. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm looking at Janice. She looks like she's ready to start getting some leads, and she's going to crush them, man. She's like a lead crush animator. I want me some leads, man.
I sure do.
I love it.
I'm ready.
I love it.
I have
Hey,
a question.
Go ahead.
What ad spend are y'all recommending? Because, we're starting out with, I guess, slowly, what budget should we put in there? We do Facebook ads, Google My Business, those Google ads, whatever. Can you tell me what, starting out, what's good to not waste money?
Yeah, so with the Facebook ads, we recommend $10 a day per ad, and that's what we send out in the form. So in the CSV, it's going to be set at $10 a day. But when we do the onboarding, we'll show you how to adjust the pricing on that so that you can make sure that it fits your budget. Now, for seller leads, for the home valuation, they're typically running around $20 a lead nationwide because we ask for all that additional info. And asking that additional info, we found that we get a little bit better quality lead, quite a bit better quality lead than if you just get first name, last name, phone number, email. So I would recommend $10 per day on the Facebook ad as a minimum. You can increase that if your budget allows. But if you do need to start with a lower budget, you absolutely can. Just know that the leads are going to trickle in slower.
And the average national lead for a seller on Zillow is over $200 per lead.
And we can get you those for about $20 a lead. Some markets were still around $10 a lead. But as you guys know, with what happened last year with COVID, we saw a massive influx of real estate agents that are running ads on Facebook and Google. Just to give you guys one example, There's a little tool that you can use called Facebook Ads Library. I'll actually show you what it looks like. Give me 1 second so I can pull it up. Facebook.com/ads/library. So this library, I'm going to share my screen. This library can give you a ton of insight and information on your local marketplace. I'm going to pull this out here just so it's. And so let's just say that we're going to take a look at housing ads specifically. And let's look at Seattle, Washington, for example. So if I type in the city, it's going to show the city here. I can click on Seattle. Right now I have 4,100 ads that are currently running for housing in Seattle. Prior to COVID, there was on average 1,000 to 1,500 ads running at any given time in the Seattle market. It has stayed consistent between 3,500 and 5,000 every single month that I've checked this in this market since the pandemic happened. So more and more agents are jumping in and marketing online. So guys, just be cognizant of that. As more agents market online, that inherently drives your cost up for advertising on the internet. That doesn't mean that it's less effective or you shouldn't do it. It just means that the more people that step into the ring, the more it costs to be in that environment and be marketing. So if we were to look at, say, Claremont, for example, let's go and take a look at Claremont, Florida, where Kelly's at. Let's see what the difference is. Did I spell that wrong, Kelly?
Clermont.
Thank you, Kelly. Now there's 2,400 results for ads that are running in Claremont. So if you were marketing in an area like Seattle, I would recommend that $20 a day for a minimum ad spend that you'd want to use, just because of how many ads are currently out there. In Kelly's market, I'd recommend the $10 a day because it's less saturated and there's less competition.
And also look at the ads. The other thing is, this is a great resource, and we look at this. Look at the ads that they're running. The ads that you're going to be running are going to be a lead magnet, where a lot of agents really aren't sure how to run it. So they're just running like their listings. And so you're going to be, when you compete with them, our goal is to give you a 1-up so that your ads are going to stand out and convert at a higher rate.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting one, Ryan. You see that one that guy ran?
Which one?
Keep going right there. Want to move to another planet? Sell your house for cash. Now that's a company that buys houses, but see how that stood out? I mean, that ad just stands out. Stuff like that.
Good question for you guys.
Shoot.
So I'm currently using Google Ads, local services. That's about $75 a week. Do you guys recommend pulling back from that ad spend and focusing more on Facebook ads, or would it be okay to keep a balance of both?
I would recommend keeping that going and doing both.
Okay.
And here's why. So if you have ads that are already running on Google, you're spending $75 a week. So what you're spending, about $10 a day?
About $10 a day.
So
yep.
How many clicks are you getting per week, and what's your cost per click on those ads?
Well, I just started right now. This is the first call I've gotten while we were on the Zoom call right now. It just right now this weekend I was going over the background check, so it took a while for it to go live.
Definitely.
What I would do both, to be honest. If you could afford it, I'd keep both of them going.
I would let that run for a little while. What I would do is make sure that any lead that you get from that system or from Google, drive it directly into the platform here. And you remember what I was showing you under workflows earlier? What you can do is you can create a new workflow based off of that lead coming in from Google. So if it's going to a landing page or whatever, and you can actually add those individuals to a Facebook audience. So as you're getting these leads that are coming in from Google, you'll then be able to start a retargeting campaign to put yourself back in front of them on Facebook. So that way, if you don't get them on the phone or they don't call you, or if it's just a lead that fills on a landing page, you can already start following up with them on their Facebook while you're sending them texts, while you're sending them emails, while you're trying to call them.
Yeah.
So you can stay in front of them on their social media platform, in their inbox, and in their missed call log.
Yeah, all over the place.
Absolutely.
Perfect,
Then-
perfect.
Also add them into AdWords so that you can retarget them on Google as well. So a couple really awesome aspects of this. I'd keep them both.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
I have
Absolutely.
another question.
Shoot.
Okay, I was in a meeting the other day with our Florida brokers, and they were talking about these ads to be more lead generation versus just, saying just boost it or something. But he was talking about the QR codes, how important, how easy they are. Do these have the QR codes embedded in it, or are you planning to do that way? Or, I mean, I haven't looked at any of your campaigns yet, but I know that probably Kelly has done it before, right?
Yes.
They are coming with our FSBO canceled and expireds. QR codes are more for a mailer.
Mhm.
Because when they get that piece of paper, all they have to do is open their camera on their phone and it
Okay.
will pull that website up right out of the gate. So we will be covering those in another training. Kelly wants to make sure that we have the FSBOs canceled and expireds by the end of August for you guys. I'm doing everything I can to rush that. I want it out before then. Kelly wants to do it at the end of the month. I'm pushing to get it done before then. So I've got my team already working on it.
Well, guys, this will be extra stuff jumping into your platform. And Brian, you're right. The QR code is good for direct mail. But when you're running Facebook ads, you've already got a link. Once they click it, it sends them to where you want them to, which is all the QR code's going to do. But on your direct mail, you definitely want QR codes.
Absolutely.
That'll be great once you get us set up with the mailbox power.
You have no idea what you're getting ready to get.
Yes, so we have meetings scheduled with Mailbox Power for the beginning of next week. We are going to be doing a full integration into the platform. So that way, when you have a new lead that enters the system, if it's a seller and you choose to do the Mailbox Power portion, we're not taking any revenue from them. Mailbox Power is their own entity, but we see a huge opportunity for you guys to get back in front of especially potential sellers in their inbox or showing up on their doorstep with a letter or a postcard. So we're going to be incorporating that. So as soon as you have a lead that comes in, it'll fire out a postcard.
And the last thing I'll say, guys, is can you imagine a platform like this where a lead comes in, say a for sale by owner or an expired, and this thing will trigger a campaign where they're going to get a drip postcard campaign, 4 postcards sent to them for about $1.63 total for the month. That's the stuff you're going to be getting in this platform. It's crazy what we're getting ready to do for you guys. Anyway.
A lot of new cool stuff coming. We've got another message, another question that came through the chat. Can't wait. Thank you all so much. I'm so excited. Yeah, we are too. We want all you guys to be making money as soon as possible. So are there any other questions that we have for today's session?
Please book your onboards with these guys.
Absolutely. Please book those
Awesome.
onboards.
All right. Well, I appreciate every one of you guys. EXP proud and be ready for our next meeting. We're going to turn up the volume on marketing.
All right, one more question. I'm sorry. On that calendar, because it comes up in Pacific time. So if I hit 12 o'clock, that means 2 o'clock Central, right?
Oh, it does come up as specific time when you're pulling it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't say what time it is. That's why I want to make sure if I say 12 o'clock Central, that 12 o'clock Pacific is 2 o'clock my time Central.
So does
on my calendar, it might come up my Central time.
You have it pulled up on your computer right now?
No, I don't think so, no. But let me see. I had it on my phone. I've already booked it, but I was just making sure that you're
Let me just take a look at what time you booked for. Hang on, give me 1 second.
It's 12 o'clock, but meaning Pacific time, so it'd be 2 o'clock my time.
Let me check because the system should recognize your time zone.
Okay.
Looking for your time zone, but let me just jump in to my appointments and see where that got.
Yeah, I think on the top of that lead form, it will say Eastern time or specific time. Mine said Eastern time when I signed up for it.
Okay, I didn't see that part.
So let's see. So, and this is Shirley, right? Okay.
Yes, I think it's Tuesday.
So the appointment is set for 10 a.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, on the 2nd. So for Monday.
Okay, so it's pulling up in my time then.
Yep. So
it
is pulled up from your time zone. So.
Okay. All right. Good.
Awesome.
Right, is that good? I guess you had a 10. I can't remember. I think 12, it said 12 was the earliest, I think is what it said. But I'm not on that right now, but I think I got it. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, we'll be signing off. We will see you guys all next Tuesday. Please book your onboarding call so that we see each of you before then. But the sooner you book the onboarding call, the sooner we'll have you live. So thank you guys so much for joining us today.
You guys rock.
Look forward to giving you many more live trainings in the future and really cracking into some of those unique selling propositions that are going to help make you more money. Kelly has got a ton of them. We are excited to see you on the next one.
Peace out, guys.